centuries of construction at this house. The original structure is from, we think, the 1860s. Then there was an addition, which we're standing in right now, in the 1960s. And then at around the early 2000s, a primary suite was added as well as guest quarters above the garage. So part of what we're doing with our marketing for this particular house is trying to honor all three centuries. There could be a buyer that loves homes from the 1800s. There could be a buyer that loves mid-century modern. There could be a buyer that wants brand new. So if we can give them like little bits and pieces of all three centuries, then we bring together the biggest pool of buyers we possibly can to present as many opportunities to our seller. Because that's my job, get the seller as many buyers for their house as possible. So then it became a question of, okay, how do we stylistically really punch up each of these? You're doing great, Kev, you're doing great.
Clear window.
Clear the window.
Clear window.
We're moving. How do we,
You just
what did I just say?
Oh, we're good? Oh,
We're actually filming our marketing right now, so this is what's happening, everyone.
I am the very model of a modern major general with information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the king's historic and Again.
So for the first two verses, where are they taking place? Where's the oldest? Is that there?
So,
Over here.
in here. So, again, just to get everybody on the same page, the house is built 3 different centuries.
Yeah.
We are standing in the house from the 1880s.
Uh-huh.
So the whole beginning is Kevin, like a man from the 1880s, sitting at this table. He'll have his teacup.
Okay.
He's singing to, not to camera, but he's like, this is his inner monologue, right?
Okay.
All the B-roll will be the historic old house stuff. All we think about this property so far is that it's an old house.
Yep.
Then when we transition into the next space, then he's 1960s guy, and we only show B-roll from the 1960s
As far as
portion of the house.
yes.
Yeah.
From that section.
Our
Okay.
whole team now knows when I'm like, oh, I have an idea. I think they all cringe a little bit.
Careful facts about the square root of the hypotenuse.
Yes.
I could say one
See,
line.
there you go.
One line.
I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem I am teeming with a lot of news. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
Good volume. I mean, for me.
That's good. When the chorus comes, that's when I think it's the voice of God kind of chorus. And
Yeah.
you're like, what is that? Yeah. And
Yeah.
and over here, something catches your eye, and you,
And then I'm getting up
Yes.
and then walking in to,
Yes.
to then all of a sudden it's like, I love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the facts historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem I am teeming with a lot of news. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
Yeah.
So we staged the
50s. We're calling it 50s.
We'll
Yeah.
say 50s. 1850s house, a bit more traditional, a little bit more antique, a little bit more of that genre, so it would appeal to that buyer. Then we moved into the kitchen in this room, and we're like, okay, this used to be a pottery studio from the 1960s. How do we make this like everything that somebody who loves mid-century modern and skylights and a loft, if they want an industrial loft, how do we make it look like that? So that was the thinking behind the design in here. And then again, in the kitchen, we really punched up mid-century modern in here. And so we were on a limited budget to get it ready. So we had the backsplash, we left it. So we worked with that. Even their like pendant light, we worked with that. But we actually brought in my mid-century modern kitchen table. This was my table that my kids made a mess on, and if you look underneath it, you actually see paint. That we had in our kitchen for a decade, and then we had it restored, and it's in our staging inventory now because it's just such a classic mid-century piece. Is that he stands up right before chorus, and y'all are at the end of that hallway, and he's like walking down this hall really dramatically through the chorus as the 60s man, like straight on for the first time.
Coming down this way.
Yeah, you could trade.
With this here.
Yep. And then that time we trail in. So your time
Yeah.
to trail in. Let's see if that'll work.
I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and immaculus. In short, that is vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. Broken chorus from the thoughts of Aristophanes. Then I can hum a fugue which I built in music's dinner for. And whistle on the instrument and find amounts of pitiful.
You're at a cut. Okay, so you're gonna let a little more roll before you leave frame. And Kevin, can you come like really?
I can hum a fugue which I built in music's dinner for. And whistle on the instrument and find amounts of pitiful.
Good.
And whistle on the instrument and find amounts of pitiful. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beans and immaculus. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I know a mythic history, King Arthur's and Sacaradox. I answer hard acrostics, have a pretty taste for paradox. I quote in elegiacs all the crimes of Heliogabalus. In conics, I can flow peculiarities for Avalus. I can tell undoubted Raphaels from Jared's and Zophanies. I know the croaking chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes. Then I can hum a fugue of which I've heard the music's dinner for. Dinner for, that's all. And whistle all the airs from that infernal nonsense Then I can write a washing bill in Babylonic cuneiform and tell you every detail of Canonicus's uniform. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.
I don't want the reveal to happen until the very end that all three of these homes, it's like there's three different homes, are actually one house. So that's the drone shot where they all come together. So if you're going to treat them visually in three different ways, how we bring that all together at the end is important, because the tagline at the end, I think, is always modern through every century.
Okay.
Something to that effect.
Okay.
Animal and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Because it goes no 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 no. Did you play that? You don't have to. Right.
I'm very well acquainted too with with the differential calculus. I know the set of beans of the beans and immaculus. I'm going to lip sync this anyway, so it's okay.